then we started brainstorming and said, well, do we know anybody who we could get to come in and be a guest speaker? You know, someone who might have served their country, who made sacrifices, and, you know, I thought, wait, I can have my husband. Because you guys know he's a retired Marine, and we came to Austin after his retirement. So without me going off, because I can talk about him all day long, we asked him to come in and talk to you guys about your freedom and some of the things that we want you, your educators, want you thinking of when you hear that catchphrase, you know, celebrate freedom. What does that mean? Why is that important? Why should that, you know, what should I be thinking about, you know, to decide how I feel about that? So anywho, this is my husband, Ben Sandlin. He's retired Lieutenant Colonel from the United States Marine Corps. Okay?
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. How are you?
Look better than the last group. So, yeah, as Michelle mentioned, I'm a Marine, retired, and the reason I think I'm here to talk about y'all, or talk to you, not about you, to talk to you about freedom is that I think it's kind of a difficult subject, freedom, to kind of get your mind around. You can't really touch it, feel it, taste it, smell it. So from their perspective, we have sacrificed to protect freedom. Now, some of the last group did this, and I'll tell every other group this too. I myself have kind of a difficult time getting my head around the idea of sacrifice, that I sacrificed, because serving my country gave me so much. Gave me her. Would not have met her if I hadn't been in the military and at the infantry officer advanced course in Georgia, where I met Mrs. Sandlin. Her, not my mother.
Not
So it's given me everything that's really important to me. It's given me a sense that I'm part of something larger than myself. Get away from those I-isms and my-isms and mom-isms. And think about something, the country. Think about something that's larger than each of us. It's difficult to do. It took me years to do it. But so I understand that, you know, folks think that I've sacrificed, that we've sacrificed, because it wasn't an easy lifestyle or an easy profession. It was difficult, both physically and mentally. And those aren't bad things. Again, help me grow. There's the old saying about that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I got real strong. It seemed like everybody's trying to kill me. So again, individually, yeah, it was difficult. It was challenging. Stayed up late nights, all night, days, went weeks without showering. Yeah, no, it's all that bad, all that bad. Ate very nasty, bad things. Drank probably stuff I should not have drunk out of bottles and things like that. So I mean, you sacrifice, sure. You sacrifice, but those things also help you. And, you know, I found that as a Marine, they also made us, because of shared sacrifice. I wasn't the only one doing it. That would have been probably impossible for anybody to individually go through those things and have to do those things. But if you got someone standing right beside you doing it too, you can joke about it, poke fun at them, they poke fun at you. As you're going through those things, it makes you stronger as a team. And that's kind of what I see as serving our country as part of that. So it makes the whole strong, not just the individuals. It does that too, but it makes the entire country, nation stronger. That you can do those things, you can go through those things. So, I mean, on an individual level, yeah, I guess you can say, make the argument that I sacrificed, we sacrificed. I like to point to the family, and they sacrificed too. Maybe more than I did, because I wasn't there. Those long nights, those weeks, those months, I wasn't there for her, wasn't there for my kids. I wasn't there for them. They understood, they did. But so there's a sacrifice there too that folks all too often forget about or don't take into account. It's kind of a very different military community than, well, by the way, to me, to a Marine, y'all are collectively known as civilians. Not a word of derision or anything like that. It's just that you're not one of us. So there's a big difference between a military community and a civilian community. In ways that you wouldn't normally think of. I was telling the last group that it's not uncommon for a note to come home from a community like ours here saying that they would just let you know one of the kids in your child's classroom has whooping cough or something like that. So if your kid comes down or starts having those symptoms, you take action. In the military community, way too common that a note will come home saying that one of your classmates at campus was killed in Afghanistan. So if anything comes up, child needs counseling. So it's a bit different. Last class, one of the folks asked me what was the most difficult thing I ever did. I told him it was casualty call. And casualty call, if you don't know, is a Marine has died, and another Marine is going to tell the family that the Marine has died. And I got a little emotional in the last classroom because it came on suddenly. And I told him I had to tell a 14-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-year-old that the father died. And I had to tell the kids that because the mother had died a month before. So yeah, it was a bad day. Much more for them than me, but still, those are the things that go on in the military. And not everybody realizes it. Not that they wouldn't appreciate it. Sure, you appreciate something like that, but you don't know what's going on. So again, those are kind of some of the sacrifices that folks will point to. So I guess what I would tell you is that we have a responsibility. There's men and women, soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, Coast Guard, that are giving parts of themselves for you and I each and every day. Sometimes they give everything. Everything that they are, everything that they were, everything that they were. They give for us. So we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility. I'm not telling you to go enlist in the Marine Corps, become a sailor or airman or anything like that. I would put to you your responsibility, our responsibility is to participate. Participate in our community. That means voting in your age. That might be volunteering. A no-kill pet community, or at the local food pantry, or any one of those things. Participate. Participate, because that makes our community stronger. Strengthens our freedom. So, participate. Thanks. I appreciate knowing Paul and Sandlin.
You guys got any questions? How many families have someone who served in the military? Okay. What's some questions from the last one? Oh, tell them where you served.
In Asia, Okinawa, Thailand, Korea, mainland Japan, Burma, it's not called Myanmar, in Europe, Brussels, England, Germany, Italy, Romania. I've got the Africa.
We'll put that on vacation destination.
So yeah, there's a few places. I served on ship too. USS Nimitz, aircraft carrier, big boat. We traveled all around Asia. Oh yeah, yeah, pretty close to it. Never Iraq or Afghanistan.
What's the most exciting thing that you've done? Like,
Oh, they will strap you helicopter and fast roping out of the helicopter onto the ship. So there's a long rope that dangles from the bottom of a helicopter, and you grab hold of it and drop down the ship. Yeah. You get nicked up a lot. I don't know if I mentioned I was in the infantry, both as enlisted and as an officer. And when you're out there, yes, to answer your question all the time. It's probably the most frequent thing that was in my eyes. I had 5 corneal operations, so stick in the eye. I was boxing one time, and my buddy thumbed me in the eye. Got sand in the eye when I was in the desert. Stupid in the eye. Yeah. It wouldn't be one individual event or anything like that. What we were fond of doing to ourselves, back in the keep getting stronger, that which doesn't kill you, is going without food or sleep and then doing something. So you have kind of different levels. The event you're doing might be patrolling, it might be taking down a building, it might be fast roping onto a ship or something like that. It becomes much more difficult if you're sleep deprived, or you're hungry, or you're thinking about, man, I wish I could just drink some water. So when you do that, that really puts different levels of difficulty pile on top of each other. No, we would go along the border. Can't moonchuck. Can't moonchuck there. We call it mud chuck because of the rain, and it would just be mud up to your knees. No, we're not allowed to go anywhere near the militarized zone. It's the border there between South and North Korea, because that would be provocative. Because we were Marines, infantry, might invade.
have you ever gotten like a really bad injury, like, and you had to go home?
No.
You haven't?
No, not really. It was, Marines are Marines. The last ones to tell you that they were hurt or injured, they were going to quit. Women in particular. No, I had my last duty. I was at the School of Infantry. We had women Marines who came through, and they would actually, because of the way their own body is, the weight of hiking, pack on them, carrying weapons and stuff, they would have fractures in their pelvis. And they would finish. We would find out about it for that wasn't just once. So many times that happened. Yeah. Major Todd Seaver. Next guy.
Tell us about embassy duty, when you were stationed in embassy duty.
Embassies all over the world. And each one of them has guards at them, Marine guards. We're there, of course, to protect them, but also we go through the security inspections and things like that. Classified material. If you're in a foreign country, classified material is level of security goes along. But yeah, it was a great duty. Probably the best duty that I ever had. Did it for 3 years. My first post was Rangoon, Burma, that was what was called a hardship. There was nothing hard about it. It was wonderful to me. Because you're in a small, tight-knit community, and you really don't have much on the outside. Vernon's a wonderful place, and really just a little bit above the Bronze Age, as far as their technology and things like that. And that was very interesting. But the whole community thing was that we relied upon each other to entertain ourselves. So we have parties at different embassies all the time. And yeah, it was just a really very different. Not something that you normally think of doing. Great dude. And after that, I went to Brussels, Belgium. Europe, we had to travel all over Europe. What was that? Well, it was great. She didn't think so.
I did too.
No, she got island fever.
I was 9.5 months pregnant. I wanted some cold weather. Okay, so we got married in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And
We were there for 3 years. I was there probably about a year. Yeah, 3 years. The rest of the time I was deployed away from there. So I thought it was great, but I was hardly there. She wanted to go to some place with that season, but the season was So the question was, how did the military change me, my perspective on life? Back to what we originally talked about, really. I went in and I was a selfish, little immature jerk. Yeah, some folks think I came out the same way, but when I got there, I went into the military for a couple of different reasons. Chicks dig the uniform. That was probably say that a little bit different. No, my father was a Marine. My brother was a Marine. My father was in World War II. My brother was in during Vietnam. So there was. I've always had a big fan of history. As sort of my major in college. Back to your question. When I got in there, my plan, I had a 6-year plan. I was going to be in the infantry for 3 years and then re-enlist and do avionics or something like that, get a career after that. But I just fell in love with it. The whole ethos of being a Marine really resonated with me. And I got to where I finally realized that I like giving back. I like giving back, participating, kind of my thing at the end of that. So, and because of that, I just decided to go on, and then finally I found a program where I could become an officer and go to college. I always wanted to go to college, and I did that while I was in the Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps pretty much paid for it too. So, giving back, I guess the answer to the question is, yeah, that's one of the big things that changed me, and I realized about myself as I grew older and matured. I'm very patient. We slept in groups. We would have a squad bay, just a long cement building, nothing, no furniture inside of it, nothing built inside. You bring in and you'd be on racks, 2 on top, and you had a foot locker, interval locker, and you had your bed, and that was it. It was pretty simplistic. For probably 10 years, I didn't have anything that I could not fit into a sea bag. And it was great. I was 19. Yeah, right out of high school. Not literally, it's me jumping into the water, pulling somebody out. No, nothing like that. But as a group, yeah. As a group, yeah. Yeah, there's many indirect ways of it. But I think you're talking about specifically heroic.
Have you gotten any medals, like, or anything?
I have.
Yeah.
Next time I'll demonstrate uniform.
No. Nobody, probably one of the smarter things I did, not necessarily the current part, just kind of, I knew for 3 years prior to that, when I was fired. You know, do something for 30 years, and you kind of, it's a habit, and it's kind of difficult to stop doing it. But if you're thinking about it for 3 years, then what should you bring like it? No regrets. Keep going.
Okay. Well, thank you for being such an attentive officers. Okay. Yeah, civilians. Okay. Go back to your classrooms now.